Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Sonic Heroes. Last time we made our way through Casino Park and Bingo Highway's Team Sonic, and this part, we're continuing on with Rail Canyon.
Tails, how much time's left?
We've got until sunset!
Tails, Knuckles, give it all you got! Full speed ahead! Got it!
Welcome to Rail Canyon, a level that this is the point where a lot of people don't really like Sonic Heroes as much because a majority of this level is just grinding on rails. And that right there just kind of sounds a little monotonous and tedious because you're really just doing the same thing the entire time and it's all very automated. I don't mind this as much. It's not one of my favorite levels in the game because of how automated it is, but it doesn't really bug me as much as others. But the rail grinding mechanic in this game is where a lot of people don't really like this level because this is the second Sonic game that they actually decided to do rail grinding. They introduced rail grinding in Sonic Adventure 2, and then this was the next 3D Sonic game after that. So this is the second time that they tried rail grinding in a 3D game. So at this point, it's not really that fine-tuned. It still has its fair share of problems. And this is where you notice them. It's this level in particular. Because since, like I mentioned earlier, majority of this level is just you grinding on rails, you'll be running into those issues with just the grinding in just this one level alone. One of the problems I have is the rail switching mechanic in this game. It's not really that good, honestly. You have to hold in direction the way you want to switch and then press the A button to do it. So it's almost like just manually switching rails, unfortunately. And because of that, it's sometimes better just to jump off the rail like I did there and then jump onto a new one instead of just holding left and then pressing the A button, because you can fling yourself off a rail really easily by doing that, and that's the biggest problem I have with this mechanic. It's just the nature of how it just flings you off a rail, and that can kill you. In fact, because of this issue, a lot of people like grinding rails in this game as the flight character just because of that. So, I can agree with that point. It is a lot easier to do rail grinding with the flight character in this game, luckily. But if you want to move fast, you don't use the flight character. You have to use a different one. And also I want to go back here because unfortunately my teammates kind of took all the rings. So I couldn't really do the lightspeed dash over onto the top area. Normally what you're supposed to do there is use the lightspeed dash to make it to that other checkpoint. But unfortunately, one of my teammates collected more rings than they should have, which caused me to miss out on that. So I just have to go around the long way. It's worth doing that because you hit another checkpoint, give you another level up. And I most definitely want that. Especially for Sonic, because level 3 speed characters really helpful in this game. Oh, come on, that's a blind sight. I don't like this point of the level just because of that. When you're falling down into the checkpoint area, there's always a spike ball that hits you. That part's annoying to deal with just because of the spike balls. You never see them coming until it's too late. That's really the only part of the level I really don't like. It's just because of that part of unpredictability. You don't know where the ball is coming from, and it's extremely hard to dodge because of that. It's really the only part of the level that I just cry out cheap, because like I mentioned earlier, the rail switching mechanic in this game is where a lot of people really don't like this level, but it's that part that I don't like in this level. That one part in particular is really the only part I just despise, because it's pretty much random if you're gonna get hit or not, unfortunately. And whenever you deal with a random factor like that, I don't like. You can at least avoid the rail issue by just using the flight character or just jumping to rail manually. That, on the other hand, you can't really predict and you just have to deal with it, and I don't like that. But I should go ahead and mention one of the other mechanics here of rail grinding, and it's basically just the boost to speed that you get on a rail. Basically, you want to go ahead and hold down the B button to get a boost of speed while you're grinding on these rails, because if you do that, then you'll go a lot faster. Now, a lot of people believe if you just keep on pressing the B button, that's how you get your boost of speed. Not the case. That's how you get a tiny bit of a boost of speed at first, but that's not how you keep your speed. If you want to keep it, you need to go ahead and just hold the button down. A lot of people don't think that, and because of that, they go slower on these rails. Don't do that because you actually slow yourself down. If you want a quick boost of speed, what you'll see me doing on the rails is you'll see me swap between the speed and the power character briefly. Doing that resets your speed and allows you to gain a boost of speed when you're switching between characters. So that's what I do personally. That's how I get my boost of speed instead of just mashing on the button. Mashing on the button won't do anything. So just hold it down if you want it, don't mash it. But now we move on to our next level, Bullet Station. Luckily this level doesn't have nearly as much grinding as the last one.
It's because we're getting closer to the center. I guess we're heading in the right direction.
Yes, I do believe, Knuckles, that we are heading in the right direction, because we have more of Eggman's robots to deal with, as Tails would like to say. And when there's more robots to deal with, then you know we're getting closer to the center of the base. Also, one thing I like about this section is that your teammates can actually hit the balloons for you, just because they're sporadically jumping around between wall to wall, because they can't wall jump like Sonic can. I mean, if they could, that'd make this a lot easier, but not the case. Also, since this is Act 2 of an area, we have a key to grab, and I'm trying to be really careful with this one because they placed this key right next to a bottomless pit, and I don't want to die at the very beginning of a level. That's just embarrassing. Big time waster, and it's just not fun to deal with. Now, in these train sections, you'll be running up to engines like this one. Destroy with the power character, and you'll be able to move on to the next area. Also, in this section, I like to swap to the flight character real quick, just because of that one spike ball. It's really, really badly placed. So, just jumping over it with the flight character makes your life a lot easier.
What a wild ride.
Also, that section right there, do not hold anything in the joystick. So if you do, then you'll just be flung right off the edge. So, just hold down the B button. That's the only thing you'll hold. Don't hold a direction. If you do that, you're going to make your life a lot worse. Also, we got another key right here if you have not grabbed one by now and you're looking for a key. Also, my teammates are going crazy on these bumpers here. Just because, you know, I want the items, but they're going crazy. Alright, let's hit these springs here. Work our way up as the speed character. If you do this, get yourself a ring box for 5 rings and another level up for your speed character. So already, my Sonic is level 3. Really good just to help me take off these enemy shields, and also to help me just speed up the process of any of these red poles if we see them, which there should be one coming up here rather soon. So I want to go ahead and attack you now, get my level up, and now I'll go back for the checkpoint. And I'll use my flight character, start leveling up Tails, because I don't really need my power character. Also, you didn't get killed, so you're kind of lingering. You want to be really careful of those cars driving on the rails because they do drop spike balls. And those spike balls right there are very, very dangerous if you're riding over a bottomless pit. So be very careful of that and take care of those guys right away if they're in your way, just to avoid that issue. Also, Golden Robot, watch it. If the Golden Robot takes one of your teammates, they're gone for quite some time. They take them instantaneously. Now with this cannon, you actually want to jump as the power character, because if you do and shoot at this door, you'll break it. If you go into that cannon with any other character, that won't break instantly. So that's a nice little shortcut right there. But if you don't do that by any chance, then this is how you'll get into that room that we were just in earlier. Go over here, hit these 3 switches, and would you look at that? We're back into this room with the giant cannon. Let me just defeat these enemies because I like my score. Also, that guy should die. Good, he did. Alright, there we go. Now to get into the cannon, you need to go ahead and jump while you're next to it. And then you'll enter into the cannon.
Here we go. Which way is the cannon facing? Hey!
I like how these 3 just jump into a cannon blindly. And Knuckles is now asking, which way is the cannon facing? You shouldn't have jumped in the first place if you were worried about this, because you never get shot out of a cannon if you want your safety. You never know where it's going to fire you, and you never know if it's going to kill you on impact or not. It's just obvious, especially in Eggman's base right now, because, you know, it's Eggman that we're dealing with here.
That's what I call a flight. I think my heart stopped.
Also, in that section, you want to go ahead and land on that middle rail to get yourself that 1-up. I recommend the second you land, swap over to your flight character because you can get flung off the edge on that part. So if you swap to your flight character, you can go ahead and catch yourself, and I always do that to be safe because I never know what's going to happen. So I always just do that for a nice little precaution. And I'm glad I do because every time I do that, I feel more comfortable. Well, if I do that with like the speed character, for example, I feel like I'm going to die. Oh, hello there, Grabber Robot. There you go, you're already dead. Now right there, you want to go ahead and use your flight character to be careful, because if you don't make that jump, you're dead. So use your flight character there, it's just a safe thing to do. And right here, I use my flight character to destroy these guys. Did the other one die? Okay, good. Didn't look like the other one did. He probably just ran off the edge, because I only got a 400 point bonus. I should have got an 800 point bonus if he actually died by my hand. Didn't happen. And we're coming to a mechanic we haven't seen since Seaside Hill, another bobsled section. Now, when we were in Seaside Hill, I didn't really explain how this works, but, well, Sonic has already explained the mechanics of it. I like how Sonic says if I fall off, bobsled won't be able to speed up, and he falls off instantly when he says that. Great timing on my part. Basically, with the bobsled sections here, you're on a timer. If you can beat the time, you get a level up for whatever character that you entered the bobsled with. So in this case, if Sonic didn't die for me, it would have been him, but now it's swapped over to a different character. So in this case, it's swapped over to Tails, if I'm not mistaken. But in this section here, we have one more set of switches we need to go ahead and hit. You do have to kill that grabber enemy in order to unlock this one switch. So we need to go ahead and do that. And set the checkpoint for good measure. And hit the final switch. But those bobsled sections, one thing I don't really see that many people doing is you want to actually hold up on the joystick with it. Because if you do that, you'll actually gain more speed. So if you want to go as fast as possible to beat that time and get your level up, you need to hold up on your joystick. It's the only way to do this. And there you go. We now just destroyed Eggman's face, and I almost got everything from the spring. There we go, we got my 20 rings. Now let's line myself up for a good light speed dash and screw it up horribly. Well, at least I got 1,000 points from that. But there we go, that's Bold Station for you. Simple enough if you're careful, but obviously if you're not careful on this level, it can really hurt you.
That was tight.
But it's time for our 4th Chaos Emerald, so you know what's gonna happen. Knuckles, it's all up to you. You know what to do to get your Chaos Emerald. Just be careful not to run into a bomb. Even though you have better control using the power character in these special stages, it's still easy to run into a bomb if you're not careful. I've done it plenty of times, so let's just see how well this one goes. So let's see, what's our emerald this time? Oh, it's the white emerald, so the one that actually looks like a diamond. Okay, that's good. So let's just go ahead and boost away here. Make sure we collect more orbs to fill up our boost, and we're done. Easy as that. Nice, we got 4 extra lives for that. Really, really good. This is an easy way for us just to get lives, by getting the required thing in the game. And, you know, the more lives the better in my opinion.
Sonic, look!
That thing's loaded with Eggman's weapons. Eggman, you're finished!
Ready all cannons! Open fire!
So you remember the Egg Hawk from the first stage? Well, it's back, now with a blimp. So basically here, you can do a couple different things. You can go ahead, write out the level, and if you do so, you get more levels for your characters. What I like to do is stay where you began, and then just continuously attack it with your power character. If you do this, you'll attack this thing very fast, and you won't have to worry about that much in terms of time bonus here, because you'll get it no problem. You just have to be careful not to fall off the edge, because you can do that really easily if you're not careful. Also, I did not mean to boost right into the Eggman robot there. Let's get rid of these guys just to be safe. Also, I got a level up here for Tails. Why not? I'll take it. I wasn't prepared for that. Let's continue punching and hope for the best. Alright, that should be good enough. Let's go ahead and make our way back. Yeah, it's down to 16 health already. Good. We're doing a good job here. Let's continuously punch it, and this should be about it. In fact, I'll do this. There we go. Just need one more punch. So now for the final blow. This is what I like doing. Get ready for a fire dunk. Dunk him in the head, and it's done. That's the Albatross for you. It's a very simple boss fight if you do that. In fact, that's the safest way to fight the boss. Don't go forward, because if you do, there's a bunch of rails you have to grind to get to the extra stuff like items and enemies, and you have to fight them over a bottomless pit. It's easier just to say in the beginning to avoid that issue. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode with that. Next time on Let's Play Sonic Heroes, we're going to continue on with our next stage, Frog Forest. I'll see you guys next time.
Once again, you fools have been tricked.
It's a fate?
From these canyons, watch as I conquer the world with my air fleet. And this time, you can't stop me.
Drat, a trap to stall for time. Sonic!
It's not an Eggman robot. Sonic! Knuckles! Wait for me!
All life form data successfully copied.